Hey there, tech fans. Rick here from the OREI team with an overview of the HDY-401A HDMI 4-port switcher. This product allows you to very quickly select from up to 4 HDMI inputs and send the audio and video from that input that you've selected to a single monitor. It also features audio extraction capabilities, which allows you to separate the audio from the video on that input stream and send the audio to a home stereo system or a soundbar for the perfect home theater experience. We include an infrared remote control as well as a front button to make that selection. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with an unboxing of the product to show you everything that comes with the kit. Then I'll spend a few minutes explaining the different audio and video standards it supports. I'll give you a close-up view of the product to point out the buttons, connectors, and indicators so you understand exactly how to hook it up once you get the product home. And then finally, I'll do a demonstration right here on the bench to show you just how simple it is to use this product. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the 401A, which is a beautiful unit. It's in a metal cabinet. It's really durable. Also included in that box is a power supply. It's a standard wall outlet power supply. Plug this end into the wall. The barrel connection gets plugged into the back. That's all the power you'll need. We include a remote control so you can make the selection of that input versus the output remotely from your couch, make it really easy. We also include an IR extension, which allows you to put this inside of a cabinet and have this little receiver outside the cabinet, which plugs into the back of the unit, so you can use this with it hidden inside of a cabinet. For the audio, we support both analog left and right as well as digital, and we include a 3.5 millimeter to full-size Toslink connection, which you can plug in the back and actually use an optical connection. Then finally, there's a manual included with the unit as well that covers the features, the different audio and video standards it supports, and a bunch of other connection information you'll need to actually hook this up once you get it home. Now stay tuned and we'll take a closer look at the unit. The HDY-401A kit includes the HDMI switcher module, a power supply, an infrared extender kit, a remote control, and a full user manual. The power supply is very simple. This end plugs into the wall. The other end with the barrel connection plugs into the unit, and that's all the power you'll need to operate the product. The infrared remote module is used to extend the infrared remote functionality when the unit's mounted inside of a cabinet. So if this is put inside of an enclosure, you plug this end into the back of the module and leave this outside the cabinet so it can receive the infrared signals from the remote. The remote control gives you access to all the functions the product can provide, including selecting inputs, selecting audio sources, turning ARC on and off, or putting it in auto mode. It's very convenient to have this and allows you to remotely control the unit from your couch or a comfortable chair. The user's manual gives you an awful lot of information about the unit, including its feature set, the audio and video standards it supports, and extensive connection diagrams to show you exactly how to connect this to your gear once you get it home. We recommend you read through this manual before connecting this up to your own equipment, just to answer any questions you may have about the unit. The switcher module itself was designed in a full metal enclosure intentionally to eliminate outside interference from degrading the sensitive audio and video passing through the unit. On the front of the unit, you'll see a series of LEDs on the left. There are 5 LEDs here indicating whether you're in auto mode or which of the inputs have been selected. Now you can put it in auto mode or select those inputs using the switch to the right. If you tap that, it'll actually walk through the inputs. If you hold it, it'll actually turn on auto mode, which means whatever input becomes active will be the one that's passed along to the monitor. To the right of that are the indicators for the audio standards you've selected. And again, you can use the EDID switch here to step through those 2-channel 5.1 or 7.1, or put it in auto mode again, which means the unit will select the best audio standard to send to the monitor. On the right-hand side is where you turn the ARC function on. You can turn it on with this button and turn it off as well. The unit itself has vents on both ends to keep the internal electronics comfortable. On the back of the unit, all of your HDMI connections are made here. This is your output connection. That would go to your monitor. And then you have a choice of 1, 2, 3, and 4 input connections. Again, standard HDMI connections that would connect to whatever media source you wanted to connect up to the unit to switch to that output. Game console, cable box, PC, could be a streaming box like a Roku. You'll make an HDMI connection from this to that input device and then use the selection switch on the front to step through those different connections. To the right of that is an audio out. You can use that to move the audio from this to a home device like a soundbar or a home audio system. There's an RS-232 connection here, again a 3.5 millimeter connection in case you want to control this through RS-232. Here's where the infrared extender module plugs in. Again, a 3.5 millimeter plug. Just simply plug it in. You can use that module. Then finally, the power supply connection on the right. Once you've made all these connections and powered up the unit, you can then use it to select which input you're going to pass along to that output monitor. The product supports all the modern audio and video standards, including media streams up to a full HD 4K or 2K resolution at 50 and 60 Hz. It supports HDMI 2.0 with full support for HDR video. It's compatible with 3D video and is HDCP 2.2 compliant. The audio support includes PCM, Dolby True HD, DTS-HD, and master audio, including 2-channel, 5.1 channel, and 7.1 channel audio. It's ARC compatible and provides both analog and digital audio output. The HDY-401A supports a wide range of different media inputs, including game consoles, PCs, home surveillance systems, streaming devices like Roku, and cable boxes. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make between the HDY-401A and your own equipment at home to use the product. For this demonstration, I've set up a monitor on my left as my output device, and I have 4 separate HDMI media sources, a PC, a laptop, a Roku player, and a media player that's currently streaming a video. I'll make all the HDMI connections to the unit first, and then I'll apply power. And the reason for that is the minute you power up this unit, it's going to go through a very quick power on self-test to check the resolution of all the input sources against the resolution that the monitor can display, and it's going to make whatever adjustments are necessary to give you the very best picture. So let's get started with the connections, and I'll start with the monitor. And that gets plugged into the port on the back labeled output. Then I've got 2 players over here, the Roku and the media player. I'll make the media player HDMI input port 4 and the Roku 3. Then the 2 PCs are over here, and I'll make those input port 2 and input port 1. And now that I've got the HDMI connected, I've plugged the power supply in on the floor, and I've got a barrel connector here that slides into the back. Now the minute I connect that, you'll see the light start to bounce on the front, and that's going through its power on self-test. So let me just switch that to input number 1. We'll start there. And once it's figured out the resolution of that input source and the monitor, it'll actually connect the 2 up and display it. So there's the laptop. Now if I want to switch to the next input source, I can tap the button on the front, or I can use the remote control. Let me just tap that. It should move to the PC. And again, it'll take a couple seconds because the resolution's different between the 2. I did that on purpose to show you that it'll make the adjustment. There's the computer. Now we'll switch to the Roku. The Roku's pretty close to the computer's resolution, so it should happen a little bit quicker. There's the Roku. And then finally, the 4th input is the media player, and it's streaming a video. And I think it's really impressive that this can make the adjustment between still images and video that quickly. There you go. Now, one other benefit this product has is the audio extraction capability, and I'd mentioned that in the overview. What that means is whatever input you've selected, the product will actually strip the audio off from that and present it at the connection on the back that you can pass along to a home stereo or a soundbar. Now, unlike a lot of our products that have a separate analog and optical output, this is one 3.5mm plug on the back that you can plug in a standard analog 3.5mm amplified speaker. If you want to use the optical, also included is an adapter that would plug into the 3.5mm, and then the optical will plug in the outside of this. But right now I'm going to use an amplified speaker that's analog with a standard 3.5mm plug on the back. And once I plug that in, you'll hear the audio. Now that audio was playing in the background, and you couldn't hear it before because the monitor has no speaker on it. This is actually extracting the audio from that media stream and presenting it to your soundbar or your home stereo, and that's what I'm simulating with the speaker. So the unit is really easy to use. Simple connections on the back. A couple of minutes you can have it hooked up and be switching between those media sources from the comfort of your couch. I hope you found this overview of the HDY-401A 4-port HDMI switcher helpful. It really does provide a very simple way of switching between 4 HDMI inputs to a single monitor while extracting audio so you can pass that along to a home stereo system or soundbar for a full theater experience. We really appreciate your support of all the OREI products, and until next time, thanks for watching.